Second. Good. Greetings to everybody here. It's a rather small gathering for this special called meeting of the Rockingham County Board of Commissioners. We'll be considering some issues that are prompted by the necessity to deal with them promptly. However, not all of our members are here due to other contingencies. Chairman Berger can't be with us physically, but he is available online. But we do need a motion here to approve his attendance by telephonic means.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to allow Commissioner Berger to participate using electronic means.
Motion made.
I'll second that motion.
And seconded. Further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That carries. First item that we're going to consider today is consideration of acceptance of RFP and local commitment of funding for broadband. I'm going to call Mr. Southern forward there to explain this.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm here today to present to you the findings from a proposal or RFP that we had put out over the last 30 days asking for any interested vendors to provide us a quote what it would take to provide fiber internet to any of the unserved areas that are in Rockingham County. During the process of this RFP, we received interest from 6 different vendors. When it came time to submit the proposals, we received 4, one from AT&T, one from North State Fiber, Spectrum Charter, and River Street Networks. As reviewing each one of these proposals, we looked at several different things to see which one was the right fit and the best benefit to the overall county as a whole. Things that we looked at was the cost for county contribution, cost by location of what it would cost the county for the money that we would be spending, the speed to the end customer, the overall county impact, so how does it affect all of the county or just a portion, pricing for additional addresses. As we go through this process, we are fully expecting to find additional address points that's not part of this proposal. One of the biggest problems we've had over the years is the mapping concerns and knowing who and who does not have internet. So we fully expect additional address points to be discovered. And then making sure that they met all of the FCC broadband requirements, which means that the amount of speed they're providing and making sure that we're only funding areas that we can legally fund by FCC rules, which is areas that are 25 meg down, 3 meg up and under. So we can only fund those areas, and we can only fund areas that have not received any other funding, no matter source. So any area that has received funding for that area, we're not allowed to fund. So after reviewing this overall impact, I am recommending that we go with Spectrum Charter for a county cost of $3.9 million for a total of 3,288 address points. Their pricing matrix that Spectrum provided gives us options to add addresses to this proposal. They have it broken down based upon number of houses per mile. So it goes all the way from 1 house per mile would be a negotiated contracted rate, all the way up to any houses over 20 per mile, they would add for free. So there's a breakdown in their proposal that does that. That was a huge request of the proposal to make sure that we did not leave any citizen that we could legally fund. One thing about Spectrum's proposal is it goes all over the county. They did not focus on one single area. A lot of the vendors only focused on one corner or one half. Fiber from Spectrum's proposal will be throughout the entire county, which will allow for further expansion and growth as we discover additional address points. A couple of the other vendors that were in the price range of Spectrum, they left about half the county unserved. So we chose not to go with them. So what I am here, and they did agree that they could honor our 2-year commitment. So from the day we signed a contract, all of these address points that meet these requirements, they guarantee that they can do within 2 years, which is an accelerated pace, much faster than a lot of the areas that are trying to do these projects are going to be able to achieve their goals. Some of the grants here in the county have 6-year timelines. They're willing to honor a 2-year. So what I'm asking today is a total commitment from the county, or not from the county, but for local funding for $6 million. $3.25 million would come from the county funds, and the other funds would come from other sources that we are partnering with, which are Reidsville Area Foundation, RCC, and the Rockingham County Schools. And we would work out MOUs for that money to be funded through us to do the overall project of $6 million. The reason we're asking for $6 million, which is higher than the 3.9 on this proposal, is for the unknown addresses. We don't want to come back every meeting asking, we found these addresses. We know there's going to be additional needs out there, so we're asking for an additional funding for that. And with this commitment from you guys, an agreement to move forward with the $6 million, and we would then start a contract negotiation with Spectrum and present that contract to you guys on the January 18th commissioner meeting for it to be executed and funds to be transferred to accounts that we could start payment for them. Any questions?
Gentlemen?
I just want to say I appreciate all the hard work you've done on this, Derek, and I know this has been one of the goals for the county for several years since I've been on the board, and I really appreciate it. I think the citizens of Rockingham County would really, really appreciate us passing it. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I can make a motion to approve this RFP for Spectrum Charter and the local funds. Do I need to say something else about it?
No, but let's hold the motion on the floor to see if there are any questions from the other commissioners. No. I've got a few. Cross your heart and hope to die. We're all in accordance with FCC legalities here.
That is actually one of the reasons that we favored the Spectrum proposal. They have went through these grants and received grants from both state and federal. They currently have state grants in this county and they have federal grants in the county. So they are very familiar with the rules and regulations on where we can and cannot fund. So when you look at address points, they're actually lower than some of the others because they are abiding by the rules to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah, and looking at the locations served, AT&T and North State had significantly more than Spectrum. Is this an indication of the quality of service?
The indication from those two vendors that had more address points in their proposals is they were including address points that I am confident are not eligible for funding. I know particular roads such as Highway 65 and portions of the city limits of Reidsville, I know already have high-speed internet, and they were included in their proposals, and that's something that we would be unable to fund. So that the numbers are not exact.
So the numbers of locations you've looked at, you're satisfied meets the needs of the county?
Yes, sir.
You talked about accelerated pace. If Spectrum fails to meet the accelerated pace, are there fines involved? That will be part of this contract negotiations of what it will be, what the rules of, or if funds are not delivered or they do not meet their deadlines, that will be part of the contract negotiation we will go through over the next few days. And how complicated will it be to authorize additional locations as they become necessary?
As long as they meet the guidelines that are set by of under 25 meg and under, and defined by geographic area, which can be a road or a portion of a road, it should not be difficult to do.
Will that be done by you, county manager, or Spectrum?
I would assume that would be handled by me or staff in my department.
Okay. Any other questions? Gentlemen, we've got a motion on the floor.
I have one. I have one, Mark.
Go ahead,
Derek,
Kevin.
As far as identifying other address points, do we have a means for citizens to submit just information to the county to make sure their address points are included?
So the answer is currently, right now, the only way they're being submitted is through an email to me off of our website. But what we will be developing is a website where it will have a submission of the information that we need, and they can be investigated. So that will be developed as part of this process. What we'll also do is the address points that will be served in these proposals will be put out there, because we will have citizens that are going to reach out and say, I'm not part of this, but they may be part of another grant, because there are federal grants and state grants active in this county. So just because they're not part of this doesn't mean they will not receive internet. It just may be through another grant. So we will try to get that information out.
Thank you.
Anything else from any commissioner? Motion remains on the floor unseconded. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
It is second. Further discussion? Hearing none, please indicate all in favor by the sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed by nay.
Aye.
I think there was an electronic delay. I consider that to be unanimous.
Could we take a moment for Spectrum to come up and speak?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Marcus, sit back.
Mr. Metzler, members of the board, and Mr. Southern, this is an exciting day for both Rockingham County and for Charter Spectrum. Accessibility to broadband is an issue across our country. It's a large focus in the state, but Rockingham County has been assessing this for many years, and the data that you have produced was instrumental in helping us identify these areas. This is the first of its kind in the state, and this is the first that I know of where many members of the community are coming together to solve this issue, and we're just excited to be a part of that and to be a part of that catalyst, to bridge the divide and keep Rockingham to continue to grow. So just want to say thank you again, and we look forward to the partnership.
We appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have item 3, which is consideration of a resolution declaring the board's intent to abandon 3/10 of a mile of Victory Hill Church Road, which is in Madison Township, the northwest portion of the county. Gentlemen, you've had the resolution in your package. Mr. Metzler, does the primary reason for making this resolution is to make sure that we advertise to the public that there will be a public hearing considering this at our next meeting, the 4th of January. You have anything to add?
No, sir. January 18th meeting.
January 18th? Okay, thank you. Right. Having read the resolution, do we have a motion to approve or disapprove said resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Motion made.
I'll second.
And we have a second. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed by nay. Thank you. Unanimous on that. And there will be a public hearing should there be interested parties on the 18th of January. Further items of business, Mr.
No, sir.
Hearing none, we would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion as well.
Motion made. Second. Discussion. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. None. Those opposed by nay. Kevin, look forward to having you back. This meeting stands adjourned.